Hi, good evening. My name is Philip Rejoice from the Department of Pharmacy, Maduka University, Nsukka, Enugu, and I'm here to talk on the book The Leader Who Had No Title, written by Robin Sharma. This is the book. In this book, this is talking about our main protagonist, Blake Davis, who, after coming back from serving in the war as a soldier, he felt lost and unmotivated and has lost his track and his failures in life pressuring him and restricting him from moving forward until he met his mentor Tommy Flynn, who brought him back on the track and to finding his purpose again. This book as a whole is talking about leadership and how one can become a leader without having to be in position or without having to have a title or be in authority to become a leader. Now, this is the content and things we are going to be finding in the book. In chapter 1, we are going to be talking about leadership and success are your birthright. This is trying to say that we could we could be leaders and achieve success even without having to be in power and authority. In chapter 2, this is talking about meeting with a leadership mentor. It's talking about meeting with a mentor who taught him on things based on leadership. Number 3, we are going to be talking about the sad cost of mediocrity and the spectacular rewards of leadership mastery. This is where we are talking about how mediocrity has eaten up the leadership of our country and how we can be liberated and the rewards linking to the liberation of mediocrity in leadership in our country. In the fourth chapter, we're going to be having the first leadership conversation. You need no title to be a leader. This is whereby the one of the leaders will be talking to Blake and teaching him on how to be a leader with no title. On the fifth leadership conversation, we're going to be having the second leadership. Sorry, on the fifth chapter, we're going to be having the second leadership conversation, which talks about turbulent times build great leaders. This is where it is talking about how dreadful moments, how worst moments can bring about great leaders in the society. In the sixth chapter, we are going to be talking about a third leadership conversation. This is conversation whereby a mentor teaches Blake Davis on how to have intimate and strong relationship bond between him and his subordinates who he is to lead, and teach them how to have a deep relationship whereby there will be support and assistance in his leading. Why in the seventh chapter we are going to be talking about the fourth leadership conversation on how to be a great leader. To be a great leader, first become a great person. We have and then on the eighth chapter we have conclusion. The conclusion. So let's talk about the first chapter. The first chapter is talking about leadership and success are your birthright. In this chapter, this is where we are talking about how being a leader, how it is your birthright, on how to be a leader. Like, this is where we're talking about leadership belongs to you. Like, you can be a leader with no title. Firstly, let's define what leadership is. Leadership is the ability to guide, inspire, and influence others towards a common goal or vision. And as a leader, you have to demonstrate qualities of integrity, good communication, empathy, adaptability, and problem solving skills. And it is said to be that leadership is not about authority or position, but about taking responsibilities and empowering others to succeed. So, the book, The Leader with No Title, is written by Robin Sharma, and it is written as a fable. Yes, it is written as a fable. So now let's head on to our protagonist. Blake Davis. Blake Davis' parents passed away and he decided to join the military. And when he joined the military, after all his past failures, he came back as a field soldier. He returned home and life became unbearable. Life became miserable. He lost his track. He was so unmotivated. He lost his passion and purpose to focus in life. But then he met an elderly man who is known as Tommy Flynn, who became his mentor and put him back on guide and led him and showed him the way and made him find his track and purpose again. Tommy taught Blake that leadership is not about position but about the mindset, and that everybody had the power to lead. And Tommy also introduced the lead without a title philosophy to Blake, whereby leadership is about influence, not power. The best leaders focus on service, impact, and innovation. So, this is what Tommy taught to Blake. We have in the second chapter, whereby my meeting with a leadership mentor. This is talking about Blake's meeting with Tommy, whereby Tommy introduced Blake to the philosophy which says leading without a title, explain that leadership is available to everybody and everyone. Leadership is not all about titles and position, but is available to everyone based on their mindset. Tommy shared one of his stories to Blake on how he developed leadership qualities despite not having a prestigious position. He further told Blake that leadership starts from taking responsibility of one's action and their impact, and that waiting to be promoted to become a leader is the worst mistake one can ever have, and it is best to start leading now when there isn't any position. It is best to lead without a position being given. Tommy further explained to Blake that consistency and small improvement lead to long-term success in the in the in the leadership role, and that one has to add little details and everything he or she has in order to improve. Now we're talking about the sad cost of mediocrity and the spectacular rewards of mastery. In this chapter, this is where Tommy takes Blake to go and meet a mentor by name Jackson Chang, a former business executive who works as a gardener presently. Jackson teaches Blake an important lesson about the dangers of mediocrity and the immense reward of striving for leadership excellence. He further says that settling for mediocrity leads to the dissatisfaction, missed opportunity, and a lifetime full of regret. Jackson further explained to Blake that many people settle for mediocrity. They do enough to just get by and not striving for the best version of themselves. And this mindset leads to serious lack of fulfillment in daily life, limited opportunities, and regret in the long run. Jackson says to Blake that life is too short to live below one's potential. So by accepting mediocrity, people rob themselves of joy and fulfillment they could achieve. He further explained that leadership mastery brings incredible rewards, such as great job satisfaction, stronger influence and respect, personal growth, and learning. Jackson further told Blake that leadership mastery is not about being perfect, but continuously improving your past mistakes and failures to become better. He also told Blake that leadership mastery is not achieved overnight but built through daily habits and consistent efforts, and they have principles to which these can be acquired. Commit to continuous improvement, develop strong working habits, stay disciplined and focused, seek feedback and learn from previous mistakes. Then we have in the chapter 4 that says the first leadership conversation. You need no title to be a leader. In this chapter of the book, this is where Tommy takes Flynn This is where Tommy Flynn takes Blake Davis to go see a housekeeper who serves who's who shares and teaches Blake crucial lessons on leadership. Anna taught Blake that leadership is not reserved for CEOs, managers, or those in higher positions, but leadership is taking responsibility for one's work and making a difference to it. And she used her job as an example to teach Blake on how to inspire guests and colleagues through excellence. She further explained to him that leadership is a mindset, not a position. She also further told Blake that leadership is about your daily actions and not a guard gesture. That is about your daily actions, what you do in your very daily life. Anna further told Blake that before leading others, one must lead oneself. One must show oneself the truth. One must speak the truth to oneself. That is taking charge of personal development. Anna told Blake that to be a successful leader, one has to have the passion and dedication to their work. One has to be dedicated to whatever they are doing in life. She also told Blake that being a leader or having a leadership qualification, one must have close relationship with the people around him and must have human connections. And this is one of the important truths to being a leader. We have in chapter 5 that says the second leadership conversation, turbulent times build great leaders. In this chapter, this is where the protagonist meets his second mentor, whose name is Ty Boyd. Ty Boyd is a former Sky instructor, and he teaches and helps Blake to understand that challenges and advices are not obstacles in leadership, but as stepping stones for growth and development. Ty Boyd emphasizes that turbulent times are necessary for the development of great leaders. He further explains today that people grow stronger through difficult times and encourages for Blake to embrace his challenge than avoid them. He further explained to Blake that waiting for a circumstance to improve or waiting on someone else to lead is a big mistake. The same word which Tommy Flynn has already given to Blake, Ty Boyd is doing the same. That leadership is all about taking the lead and not waiting for the right time or waiting for somebody to lead. Ty Boyd also told Blake that those who thrive in turbulent times tend to learn and adapt constantly. Stagnation is dangerous, especially in times of rapid change. Leaders must always enlarge their coast on their knowledge and improving their skills and staying open to new ways and methods. Ty also advised Blake to step out of his comfort zone and take risks. The leaders push through difficult times with courage and determination, and they don't let their fear get the hold of them. Chapter 6, the leadership conversation, the deeper your relationship. This is also where Ty taught Blake on how to have a deep relationship with the people in order to enable them, give them the support of being a good leader, And for one to have the ability to have a deeper relationship with the people, one must possess emotional intelligence, which is key leadership to success. One must be empathic. One must have the power to feel empathy. One must be appreciative. One must be an active listener for him or her to be able to have a deeper relationship and build a stronger leadership with the people. The fourth leadership conversation: to be a great leader, one must become a great person. In this part, this is where Blake met his last mentor, known as Jet Brisley. Jet Brisley told Blake that leadership is not about managing others but about managing oneself. Chapter, Robin Sharman emphasized for one to become a leader, one must excel in all areas of life. So he further, that is, Jed Brisley further explained great leaders do not focus solely on external sources but also to improve themselves and their inner world. Jed, Jed teaches Blake that true leadership is built on four dimensions: mental mastery, physical mastery, emotional mastery, and spiritual mastery. One must possess these four qualities in order to become a great leader and become a great person. Yet Brisley further teaches Blake Davis to be able to overcome his fear, self-doubt, and excuses, and to have a mindset of responsibility and not always waiting for the right time and blaming circumstances for his failures. And now we have the conclusion of the whole story. In this aspect, we're talking about how leadership, how one can be a good leader without having a title. One has to possess qualities that make him or her good leaders, able to enable them possess the leadership ability. One doesn't have to always be in position or in authority or in power to be a leader. One always needs to take the lead and forge ahead and become a leader of oneself and drive people to achieve success and aims. Thank you.